Russian President Vladimir Putin has returned the threat of war to Europe. His troops have essentially surrounded Ukraine on three sides. As many as 100,000 are stationed near the border in Russia and Crimea. And now troops and fighter jets have been sent to Belarus to stage military exercises on Ukraine's northern border. As threatening as this seems, it's still not clear if Putin is actually planning an invasion, or if this is just a high
What is that, dude?
stakes negotiation tactic directed at NATO and the US.
То, что сейчас происходит, та напряженность, которая складывается в Европе, это их вина. На каждом шаге Россия вынуждена была как-то отвечать. На каждом шаге ситуация постоянно ухудшалась, деградировала и деградировала.
Putin says NATO expansion, especially in former Soviet republics, is a direct threat to Russia's security.
He's right. That's precisely what the NATO is doing. That's precisely what NATO is there for. That's true, as I've said over and over again, okay? He is 100% correct on that. That's a true take. It's true. It's not Vice propaganda. First of all, Vice is like super pro State Department. What do you mean? They're probably going to be like, they already started out by saying Putin has surrounded Ukraine from all sides or whatever. Okay? People really be acting like the USA wouldn't have troops on the border that had an ongoing conflict that had Americans involved. Lamau, Russia be doing what USA did to Mexico and the US is upset. Yeah, I mean, oh my God, Hassan agreeing with Putin. Yes, because he is right on that. NATO's existence and NATO's entire purpose is to threaten any sort of fucking authority or any sort of fucking autonomy that Russia could ever have. Does Putin also personally still want to fucking potentially, you know, push back the boundaries of the Russian Empire back to its old days?
1 year. Thanks for turning me into a socialist.
And inevitably have like inevitably secure regional allegiance through whoever they can fucking put in positions of power in countries like Ukraine, maybe all the way back to fucking Poland. You know what I mean? Maybe push it to the push it back to like fucking Finland. You know what I mean? To the borders of Finland. Yeah, certainly. Okay. That's what big governments do. That's what governments do. Governments try to fucking maintain their regional sovereignty. Does that make it okay? Absolutely not. It does not. But you also have to remember, okay? You also have to remember that, like, Putin's interests, okay? Putin's interests in conquest are not all right. But the United States and the UK and Canada turning Ukraine into an actual fucking, I don't know, war zone by consistently and routinely agitating. That's going to hurt Ukraine. That's going to hurt all these other countries. Why do you think they won't invade? I think that it is infinitely more successful for Vladimir Putin to install leadership in Ukraine that is sympathetic to Russia, like they used to have. That's it. It's so much better for him so that he is not cut off from access to the Black Sea, and that's it. Like everything goes away. All the fucking fighting, all the problems go away for Vladimir Putin, and you don't have a foreign or a nation state that is directly sitting on their fucking border that have guns pointed directly at them that Western imperialist nations can use as a fucking forward operating base. Okay? Do you think Russia is morally superior to Western imperialists? No, of course not. They showed clearly in Georgia and Crimea that they are willing to invade. What are you talking about? Bro, do you live... Dude, I got motherfuckers living in Georgia right now that I know.
Get fucked.
Okay, I got motherfuckers living in Crimea. They don't care about this issue as much as you do, bro. Or they have a fucking more nuanced approach to this situation than you do. Like, you literally live in Oklahoma and you watch NBC all day and you go, dude, they're going to exert their regional authority and actually fucking take back certain parts of land and you know, try to rebuild like the Russian Empire or whatever. It's like, what are you saying? No, they don't like getting invaded. Obviously not. And that's ridiculous. But like, you literally, you are making it seem as though this is something that we should have a say over, okay?
Hasan, I bought an NFT of your home. I now own it and am giving you notice of your eviction effective at the end of this month. If you would like to enter my home going forward, you will have to pay a toll at the door. The toll will be 1 ETH.
And as I said yesterday, and it bears repeating, the solution to Ukrainian independence does not revolve around Western imperialist forces helping Ukraine, okay? Just like the solution to Ukrainian independence did not revolve around, I don't know, Nazis helping Ukrainians gain independence against the USSR. These are countries that have incredibly fucking tight relationships with one another, okay? There's a particular reason why you're not hearing...
Hassle.
There's a reason why you're not fucking hearing about Germany's approach to this subject, because they're literally saying, we don't give a fuck. We're not going to do anything. Shut the fuck up. Okay? And ultimately, what's going to end up happening is like nothing is going to end up happening. Okay, and everybody's going to forget about it. Motherfuckers in Ukraine know this, okay? Because they've been in a holding pattern. What? Yeah, man, I didn't know you got burglarized. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, because of my background? Yeah. Ukrainians have been in a fucking holding pattern identical to this for many, many years, okay? And the only difference is you guys are going to shut the fuck up about it. That's the only difference, okay? You're going to shut the fuck up about it. You're going to stop complaining about it. You're going to not care.
3 months.
Just like you never cared about Afghanistan. Just like you currently don't care about what's going on in Yemen. Okay? That's not right, Hasan. Germany's not sending weapons to Ukraine because they didn't want to escalate the situation more, like you were wishing for. Not sending weapons anymore. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why Germany is not interested in escalating it further? Because they already have a fucking pre-existing relationship with Russia, okay? And they know that, like, they don't want fucking... They don't want tensions to rise. They don't want Russia to go into fucking Ukraine. And they're abiding by what Russia is saying. Because that's what you have to do, ultimately. What holding pattern? There's fucking trench warfare in Donetsk has been going on for 8 years. I mean, that's a little bit different.
Deep fried meme, look, Hasan.
Russian separatists living in the Crimea that are being backed by Putin is entirely separate as a even with the history of the fucking region is entirely separate than Ukraine, like Kiev. You know what I mean? Like a country with 44 million people, 77% of it being Ukrainian. Okay, and to me, as someone who is kind of close to that region, as someone who is obviously from Turkey, who grew up in Turkey, like. Obviously, Crimea belongs to the Ottoman Empire. Don't get me started. You know, it's you know our right to go back, and we should be the ones invading Crimea, and they will welcome us as liberators because they are Tatars and they are of Turkic descent technically, and you know our history goes back way longer than the Russian dogs that came and you know overtook the region. Obviously, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? These guys who had a very complicated. Relationship with Crimea, including like the Crimean prince being educated in the Ottoman Empire, kind of as like a hostage, but also would be potentially the next successor if the Ottoman lineage ever fell apart. All that sort of stuff, you know. I mean, that's you know, that's like we need to give back Crimea to the Turks, okay? If we're being serious. No, I'm just kidding. Everything I said is a joke, okay? Everything I said is a joke. Do not take that seriously at all. But the point I'm trying to make there is that Crimea is a little bit different than Kiev. It's a little bit different than the rest of Ukraine. with respect to how much power the Ukrainian government has to defend
The
itself.
future of NFT and the blockchain should be for voting and centralized use, not this NFT money grab BS.
Anyway,
Bitcoin
kind of
is
dumb to
ahead
say that
against
Ukraine shouldn't be able to
inflation.
have the autonomy to act on its own volition, whether that be joining Russia or aligning itself with the U.S. I mean, dude, I don't like NATO. I don't agree with fucking Ukraine being a part of NATO. I just do not. Is that a sentiment Turks hold? No, that's not. I was just joking.
$16 let's go.
He wants a guarantee NATO won't add new members, and definitely not neighboring Ukraine. The U.S. says countries should choose their own alliances. Russia and the U.S. spent last week trying to come to some agreements. More talks are supposed to happen, but so far they haven't gotten anywhere. So Russia has kept raising tensions, moving troops west from its border with China towards the one with Ukraine. The U.S. even
Like, I don't understand. Before Russia started moving the troops and escalating by doing, simulated or military training at the border and all that stuff, like, why was this, like, why did Joe Biden months ago say, yeah, that's right, we're just not gonna fucking put Ukraine in NATO? Why can't they come to a reasonable compromise, an understandable middle ground where they say, look, it's ridiculous for you to say a lot of these Baltic states cannot join NATO. They've already joined NATO. Shut the fuck up. That's not going to change. But having said that, we won't let Ukraine, which is your fucking, border, we're not going to let Ukraine join NATO. Okay? Like, why can't they do that? Why can't Western nation states, which have absolutely zero stake in this, that they're not gonna fucking shed a single fucking piece of blood over this, why can't they just be like, all right, fuck it, it's fine? Why can't Ukraine decide for itself what the fuck? Because it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. You can't just make fucking allegiances with an organization that is designed with the express purpose of saying, like, fuck Russia. Designed with the express purpose of saying, like, we literally are built. And because we recognize what we are built for, which is to say, fuck the USSR, fuck communism, fuck Russia, okay? Because that was the design of this, we are not going to move eastward. We're not going to move further east. Okay, in the aftermath of the dissolvement of the USSR, which, by the way, a promise they did not keep. So, no, they have been encroaching, and you can't fucking do that. Like, you just can't do that. To let themselves decide, people are being ridiculous. Yeah, dude, fuck it. Americans literally will not allow other countries to do nuclear programs. Meanwhile, you're over here saying, let's put Ukraine and NATO in the fuck Russia program as their fucking border state. Like, it's so stupid. I hate this like autonomous nation argument. Like, it doesn't matter. Okay? You can't have a fuck America program, a fuck America Vosh believes you're wrong. Well, I don't care. This is like going to be one issue that I will be probably completely in opposition with the rest of the liberal and neoliberal and leftist political commentators. Okay, I don't care.
Munkor.
It doesn't work that way. Only Russia can decide another autonomous country's allegiance is sweaty. That's not even it. It's about fucking regional sovereignty. It's about like actual autonomy. It's about actual fucking security. At a certain point, regardless of how I feel about fucking Vladimir Putin, and regardless of how I feel about Vladimir Putin going in to other countries, because I do disagree with that, okay? I do disagree with Russia enforcing its own Russia enforcing like its expansionist policy is
Thank
not
you so
good.
much for everything you do.
But regardless of what I think about it, I still don't think that like the solution to that is more American imperialism, more Western imperialism. Its own land.
Been here longer than 11 months, but I can't believe it's almost
No matter how
been
much
a
I
year.
disagree, Ukraine
Love
shouldn't
you,
have
Raja.
autonomy. Dude, Ukraine can have autonomy to do whatever the fuck it wants, but it's entirely separate when you literally join the fuck Russia. You join the fuck Russia NATO brigade, okay? That's not just autonomy, okay? Hello, please use our fucking country as a forward operating base. Like that's not just like, you know, exercising your own fucking autonomy, okay? Also, again, I don't know why I'm having a conversation with, you know, neoliberals and left or people who think that they're progressive because they watch American news and then they're like, oh, I really care about the Ukrainian people's well-being. Like, otherwise Russia is going to fucking go in and, you know, take over Ukraine. They're going to go in and take over Ukraine for sure. They're going to do that, right? Like, I don't know why I'm talking to you when like the underlying concern is if Russia did go into Ukraine, doesn't matter if there's fucking NATO forces there, doesn't matter at all. That would turn it into a gigantic fucking issue where a lot of people would die. A lot of Russians would die. A lot of Ukrainians would die. You know who wouldn't die? You living in fucking Ohio, reading like, you know, foreignpolicy.com articles and coming in here to fucking copy paste shit directly from statedepartment.gov. Okay? So you don't give a fuck. It's just an argument for you. And the argument is like, I feel like I care about the Ukrainian people. Everyone is telling me that like the right thing to do here is like allow Ukraine to fucking join NATO.
5.
It's so weird.
Claims that Russia has a plan to fake an attack against itself or its allies.
Russia's
Yeah.
laying the groundwork to have the option of fabricating a pretext for invasion. And we've seen this before. We saw this before leading up to 2014, just to note.
2014, of course, was when Russia annexed Crimea and helped separatists take over regions in eastern Ukraine. This round of threats could turn into an attempt to claim another chunk of Ukraine. Or Russia could threaten NATO and the US more directly. Aides of Putin hinted last
Yes, we make fun of the US-Cuba fears in this exact reverse situation. This is silly. Yet we make fun of US-Cuba fears in this exact reverse situation. This is silly. Dog, the entire reason why there was a Cuban Missile Crisis is because America, by way of NATO, quite literally directed missiles in Turkey towards the USSR. Okay? And since then, America has tried to like do significantly worse things to Cuba than Russia could do to Ukraine in a million years. What the fuck kind of take are you making right now?
T-minus 2 months till brain rot Hassie.
America has done to Cuba way worse things than Russia has ever done to Ukraine. Okay? You can get mad at me and say, you know, in contemporary society, Russia. I'm not talking about the USSR. I'm talking about Russia. Okay? I'm talking about Russia. I'm not talking about the USSR. Do not fucking hit me with the other shit, okay?
Eight months pog.
last week that Russian nuclear weapons could be moved closer to the US. State media seems to be priming Russians for conflict.
В Вашингтоне, кажется, готовы на разрыв отношений с Россией, а значит, готовы к войне.
Russians are listening, but most of them still
What the fuck is she wearing, bro? What the fuck?
Готовы
Olga Skabevena! Skabevyeva! Host of Russia
к
1!
войне.
Look at what she's wearing. Oh my god. What are they wearing on television, dude? It's crazy. This subject brings out the biggest dumb fucks with the biggest mouths and the least amount of real problems. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's just, you know, you just... The only reason why people are talking about this is because the media is like gearing you up, okay? That's it.
The sub baby is almost
Russians
ready.
are listening, but most of them still appear to believe that an all-out conflict in Ukraine is unlikely.
И мне кажется, что когда понизятся амбиции со стороны НАТО и со стороны нас уйдет некий страх, да, то, возможно, появится
Like,
возможность...
why does NATO still exist? Can someone explain to me why NATO still exists? They won. They literally fucking won. Okay, the USSR does not exist. Why the fuck is there still a NATO? And why are they still expanding? Like, there's absolutely zero reason for it to exist. Security, yeah, okay, bro. No, it's not. It's Hong Kong and Taiwan repeats the same dipshit neolib, same talking points. I know, it's gonna happen over and over again.
То есть вот на основе договоренности, мне кажется, напряженностью идет.
Война только в средствах массовой информации, в соцсетях, на телевидении. А так все спокойно мир. Мы думаем,
But the US imperialism doesn't justify Russian imperialism. The fuck? If you can't see that Putin is the aggressor here, I don't know what to tell you, Chief. You know, you're right, dude. Yeah. Putin moving its fucking troops over to its own country is actually an act of war and an act of aggression. But 8,500 American troops coming from Europe to Eastern Europe in a specific and deliberate effort to like make Ukraine operate like a fucking NATO country, that's not an act of aggression, dude. You're right, dude. How about they say no? How about they say no? Why is that so hard? None of us have any fucking stake in this, okay? None of us have a dog in this fight. How about, chatters, you and I, we decided, okay, we're doing Model UN or whatever the fuck, right? How about they say fucking, okay, we're not letting Ukraine into NATO. Maybe we'll let Ukraine into the EU, but not NATO. How about that? What happens? Let's say Russia no longer is doing military troop activity at the border. Is that going to be okay? Is that going to be okay? Because motherfuckers keep saying appeasement. The other side of appeasement is World War II.
Xi Jinping, please liberate me, has prayed.
The other side of appeasement is World War II. You get that, right? So are you saying that you're ready to fucking go get drafted to go fight in fucking the Ukrainian-Russian wars? No. You're a fat little shit living in fucking Idaho, and you all you want to do is eat chicken tendies and play Call of Duty. You're not gonna fucking go. You're not gonna get drafted. You're not gonna go fight in World War III. Shut the fuck up. It'll really change things. Maybe I'll get pussy finally. Like, dumbass.
Days of brain rot.
I'm gonna lose my fucking mind if, like, literally just a group of individuals that look the same, sound the same, have the same culture, have the same fucking food, and then, like, the minor differences is, like, a little bit, like, just a little bit of seasoning in their fucking religion. If those two dumbasses go to fucking war with each other, and then, like, the entire world has to fight one another, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit, dude. Okay? One of the most idiotic fucking things that could have ever happened.
что буквально через ближайшее время все успокоится.
Касательно вообще большой войны, мы видим, что вероятность этой войны не такая большая, да, порядка 25% говорят о мировой войне.
It's also entirely... Dude, here's this same people, Ukrainians are not Russians, you clearly know shit about history, stay humble, sit down. Bro, if I literally put a Ukrainian person and a Russian person and another Ukrainian person and another Russian person, a Ukrainian person and a Russian person side by side, you will never be able to say which one is Ukrainian and which one's Russian, okay? Shut the fuck up, okay? I say this exact same shit about Armenians and Turks. I say this exact same shit about fucking Greeks and Turks as well. We all fucked each other for hundreds of fucking years, okay? You are a dumbass. You're a dumbass. You're literally a dumbass. Not only that, but also, like, at least Islam is, like, tangibly different than Christianity, at least from a geopolitical standpoint. Fucking Christian Orthodoxy and Catholicism is literally just the same shit. It's like Protestants and Catholics fighting each other, okay? It's fucking annoying as shit. It happens in Ireland, too. It's very fucking frustrating. They're both Orthodox? There's not even a religious difference. Oh, God, I'm losing it. Okay. I thought there was at least some fucking religious difference. Sunnis and Shias.
Can't wait for the next land war.
It's the same people. It's the same people. There you go. It's the same people across the board. Okay. Sorry. Coptic Orthodox and Eastern Orthodox.
Americans are correct about everything. Even THO, their whole history is a lie.
Anyway.
Войне и вот 35-40 о вероятности войны с соседними странами, с Украиной.
Denise Volkov of the independent polling organization Levada Center says this is not just a way for Putin to boost his falling popularity.
Думаю, здесь российские власти очень хорошо понимают, что думает российское общество.
То есть, учитывая общественное мнение, но при этом не то, что общественное мнение диктует то, что делает Путин.
Да. И очень часто, мне кажется, есть еще и такая неверная посылка, неверное представление, что все это делается ради рейтингов. То есть, да, если не дай бог, будет конфликт.
They're Turks? Yeah, of course. All of them are technically Turks. Yes. Okay, I mean, for real though, the USSR is like comprised of a lot of Turkic countries. That's not even a joke.
2 months of
The
brain
part
rot.
where I said they're all Turks is a joke, but the USSR was comprised of a lot of fucking Turkic nations. So that's not even a joke.
Наверное, вырастут, особенно на начальном этапе, конечно, будет мобилизация. Но это явно не для мобилизации общественного мнения, это вторичный вопрос. Да, это российские власти, как мне кажется, действуют из представлений собственных. Представления о безопасности, о том, вот, что хорошо, что плохо для страны, какие представления, исходя из представлений об угрозах, как они их видят.
A majority of Russians say they fear a world war, but Levada Center polls show their biggest worries are rising prices, poverty, and corruption. The U.S. has threatened new, harsher sanctions. Sergei Markov, a former ruling party lawmaker, says Russia can weather whatever comes its way.
Может ли Россия позволить себе такую большую военную операцию в данный момент, когда экономика стагнирует после 2014 года?
Сможет ли Россия сделать такую военную операцию, освободить половину Украины? Это как раз и есть вопрос экзамена. Вот США и НАТО, как я сказал, профессора сидят и говорят, вы не сможете сдать этот экзамен, вы слабые. А Россия говорит, я могу это сделать, я сильная, я сдам этот экзамен.
Europe has a lot to lose if a Russian invasion would be tolerated. Billions of EU aid is invested into democratization and removing corruption. Motherfucker said democratization initiatives, dude. What the fuck? What? Bro, that's pretty good. That's a good one. That was the funniest neoliberal take I've seen so far. Thank you. Motherfucker said, man, the investment, so much investment would be lost. I mean, yeah, dude, I love doing lethal aid in the form of democratization measures.
9 months. A whole Hasan subscription pregnancy. Congratulations, it's a socialist. Glad to be here.
Why do liberals care so much about a broader conflict or half a world away? Because they like war, because because the media is telling them to care about war, okay? It's facts, not a take. Yeah, totally. Fuck NATO, all my homies hate NATO. This notion that America or European countries care about democratization initiatives is pretty funny. Democratization is what Americans and Western imperialists consider to be the ending of centralized control over markets, for example. Everything is considered democratization as long as they're becoming more capitalist. That's democratization of the marketplace.
Вот сейчас посмотрим. Экзамен, я
Do
думаю,
you feel like you're living in a democracy right now?
начнется скоро.
Past sanctions have forced Russia towards a more self-sufficient economy, and some European countries like Germany depend on Russian gas. So the US may have a hard time getting support for sanctions strong enough to actually deter Putin.
Germany will
Путин
never let
уже
Ukraine
принял
and
свое
European
решение
Union
по
take
поводу вторжения войск на Украину Восточную или еще нет?
Я думаю, что 100% решения точно нет. Потому что Путин все еще надеется на какой-то позитив.
I told you guys, here's my lock, okay? Nothing is going to happen. Everyone is getting fucking geared up. Nothing is going to happen. Ultimately, there will be like, in a couple of years, there will be like another fucking, Russia-loving leader that is in charge of Ukraine, okay? And that's it.
America deserves Zajan. America deserves Chad.
That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I feel about it. I think that the whole like Russia is our foreign adversary. We gotta fucking we gotta do anything we can. Yeah, like Georgia and Crimea. I mean, there's a difference between fucking Crimea and Georgia and Ukraine as a whole, okay? Doesn't Ukraine have literally like the third largest fucking military in Europe? Like if you look at it as like European countries.
Has wiggle 10 months has wiggle.
The fuck are you talking about? I'm gonna look this up. Armed military forces of Ukraine. Okay.
At HasanAbi, my mom made me watch a Turkish soap opera that was airing on a Spanish network. Tell me why it
Go
was
live in Russia
actually
then?
kinda
Why the
good.
fuck would I do that? Why don't you go live in Ukraine then, bitch? Go defend Ukraine by yourself. If you care about Ukraine so much, go fucking... It's the 8th largest? Okay, that's not as big.
Let's go.
Chatter's browser right now? Oh my god. Dude, this is funny as fuck. Chatter's browsers right now. HasanAbi Twitch, Ukraine Wikipedia, Russia Wikipedia. Leftist shit about Russia. Are the Ukrainians Turkish
snap. Late
foreign
today,
policy, the global
New studio
magazine?
needs some decoration.
Recently watched an older bit from a German satirist. Is it true that up until Obama, the U.S. government were pro-Putin recently? No. George W. Bush literally said he wanted to fucking add Georgia and Ukraine into NATO. Ukraine has the 21st largest active military in the world and the largest in Europe in terms of active personnel. The size of Ukraine's armed forces, which maintains a 255,000 man force, is the third largest in Europe after Russia and French armed forces. Oh, damn, bro. So I was right. And now it's even swelled up to 280,000. Poland had one of the world's largest militaries in 1939. Ultimately, Russia's air power leaves Ukraine at a huge disadvantage. I'm not going to say anything. Okay.
Happy 11 months.
I gotta pee.
Соединенными Штатами отношений Соединенных Штатов Америки с Европой.
First Taiwan and now Ukraine is a big year for Americans' geography education. Americans only learn about fucking global geography by choosing where to justify invading next, okay? Or choosing where we need to fucking immediately provide lethal aid to. That's the only way that Americans learn about other countries and how they exist. They're like, oh shit, dude, well, I just found out that there's a place called Taiwan and we must immediately give them lethal aid. That's what we have to do. You're crazy.
Но вероятность того, что Путин будет вынужден отдать приказ освободить часть Украины, очень-очень велика.
U.S. troops on heightened alert
Rising
over
tensions
Ukraine, Russia.
overseas. President Biden ordering 8,500.
Bro, it's so good for the ratings, though. It's so good for the fucking ratings, dude. Like that's the reality. It's just great for the ratings. That's it. Okay? It's good content. It's good for the ratings. It's good for TV. It's good for the military-industrial complex. It's good for like what keeps the American wheels greased, you know? And that's precisely why they do it. There's no like genuine reason. There's no like no one gives a fuck about the Ukrainian people. Get the fuck out of here. If they gave a fuck about the Ukrainian people, they would immediately de-escalate, okay? But both sides are escalating tensions because they don't give a fuck about the Ukrainian people. That's it. It's just like this is good. This is good for fucking you know, every other part of the fucking economy that relies on war, an endless sea of war.
U.S. troops to be put on heightened alert, meaning they are ready for rapid deployment to support America's NATO allies if Russia invades Ukraine.
The president held a video conference call with European leaders to coordinate the response. More diplomatic talks in Paris tomorrow as Russia builds up its forces on the Ukrainian border. Senior foreign correspondent Ian Pennell is on the scene in Ukraine. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, George. That's right. Both Russia and America, NATO, increasing their military options around Ukraine, adding to this sense of an escalating crisis. But at the same time, there is still reason to hope that perhaps diplomacy could win the day. This morning, the United States and NATO allies pledging more reinforcements for the region, with additional weapons expected today as the Russian troop buildup gathers pace. Overnight, more Russian military trains arriving to the north in Belarus as Russian ships setting sail in the Baltic Sea. Meanwhile, President Zelensky of Ukraine giving another nationwide address, urging people to stay calm. But US Secretary of State Antony Blinken accusing Moscow of menacing Ukraine, saying it's an issue of global consequence.
Even as we're looking to advance the diplomacy, advance the dialogue, we have to be, and we are prepared when it comes to defense and deterrence.
The Kremlin accusing the administration of hysteria, saying it has no plans to invade. President Biden meeting virtually with European leaders, discussing efforts to deter Russian aggression on the Ukrainian border. The US now placing 8,500 troops on heightened alert for rapid deployment to support a NATO response force if necessary.
The United States has taken steps to heighten the readiness of its forces at home and abroad.
But for the time being, these troops will not be deployed to the region.
I want to reinforce that as of now, the decision has been made to put these units on higher alert and higher alert only.
As American troops remain at the ready, other NATO countries also deploying further military resources to the region.
I forgot that it's fucking Tuesday, by the way. I fucking forgot to say it's Tuesday, innit? It's fucking Tuesday, innit?
Including warships, fighter jets and additional ground troops. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson calling the Russian buildup of troops on the Ukrainian border evidence of Russia's intention to invade.
The plan for a lightning war that could take out Kiev is one that everybody can see.
The Department of Homeland Security now...
Like, that's fucking delusional, dude. That's delusional. That's delusional. The idea that Russia's gonna fucking take out Kiev is crazy to me, okay? It's crazy. They would get the fucking work, dude. Like, you think like fucking an insurgency on home turf is actually going to be like something you can do?
Years later. America,
like you have the separatist forces in Crimea. You have like, you know, ethnic Russians in Crimea. It's like entirely different than fucking Kiev. And that's why the people in Kiev themselves are like, yeah, even if fucking Russia came, we would just make it a living hell for them.
A warning of potential Russian cyber attacks if the US or NATO responds to an invasion of Ukraine, saying Russia maintains a range of offensive cyber tools that it could employ against US networks, from low-level denials of service to destructive attacks targeting critical infrastructure.
The Kremlin's been talking this morning, saying that it's profoundly concerned by the latest US moves, but it won't comment until it receives its written response from the Biden administration. Meanwhile, France and Germany planning to try to revive these de-escalation talks with Russia and Ukraine. That takes place in Paris tomorrow. Cecilia?
Hoping for an off-ramp. Okay, Ian, thank you. The Pentagon placing, as you said, those troops on high alert, but for now not deploying them to the region. So let's bring in our senior White House correspondent, Mary Bruce.
There are so many people on Reddit that want U.S. boots on the ground. It's insane. People still believe in the world police rhetoric. At least European countries are a lot more chill. Hell, even Ukraine is like, bro, the Yanks are nuts.
This still marks a major...
Yeah, the reason why the Yanks are fucking nuts is because they have less to lose and only to gain. People don't want to talk about... People will no longer pay attention to Boris Johnson's fucking, bunga bunga parties for his 60th birthday or whatever the fuck in the UK. The Tory scandals will go away. Joe Biden, Joe Biden's economy will no longer be the main fucking conversation. He's, showing strong opposition towards our foreign adversary, Russia. Okay. More guns are being sold. That's pretty good. The defense sector is doing better. It's a win-win-win for the Westoids, okay? That's who wins in this conflict. You know who loses? Ukrainians. And that's why even fucking Kiev is saying, stay calm, remain calm. We're trying to de-escalate. Meanwhile, Americans are like, fuck no, baby. What do you mean de-escalate? Get the fuck out of here. We're coming in guns blazing. We're ready to do door knocking. Let's go.
Shift for the administration.
Yeah, Cecilia, good morning. There is simply no question that putting these troops on high alert is a major pivot for this White House. So what changed? Well, as the Pentagon says, it was clear that Russia had no interest right now in de-escalation. As for what comes next, on that call yesterday with European leaders, the president and these leaders discussed moving ahead and imposing and preparing to impose massive economic costs on Russia and these efforts to reinforce security in the region. Now, the White House and the president continue to underscore their desire for a diplomatic solution here, but it's just not clear if compromise is achievable or if Putin has any real interest in diplomacy, Cecilia.
Yeah, Marian, I want to ask you about another moment there at the White House yesterday. You were in the room for it. The president responding to a question from a Fox News reporter with a profanity.
Like, motherfuckers keep talking about like appeasement. Like Russia is like Nazi Germany, dude. Appeasement. So like the other side of appeasement is war. Like, is that what you want? You don't want that. Okay? You don't want that at all. You just want to fucking keep eating your chicken tendies and watching it from the telly. Okay? That's what you want. You want to watch unlicensed BBC footage of the war on in between hours where you're watching the footy on the telly. You have a license for that, bruv.
From a Fox News reporter with a profanity. Let's watch.
Let's go. Dude, this was sick, by the way. This was a let's go Brandon moment. I mean, I was such a fucking... Honestly, this was awesome. This was Brandon at his peak, dude. I love when Brandon pops off like this, okay? I'm a Brandon head.
Do you think it plays a political liability? That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
All right, the White House, the president trying to clear the air overnight.
Yeah, that reporter, Peter Doocy, says he received a personal call from Biden, the president telling him...
You should have never apologized. What a pussy.
Quote, "It's nothing personal, pal." Ducey says he appreciated the president's call, that they had a nice conversation. But Cecilia, you know what these events are like. I have to tell you, this was not a contentious line of questioning, but the president was clearly frustrated that he was being peppered with questions about Ukraine at an economic event. And Ducey's question, even though it was on topic, clearly struck a nerve with the president. Cecilia.
Yeah, about inflation. Okay, Mary, thank you so much.
I wish he never apologized for it.
Biden took a slightly different tone today, didn't want to answer any questions, and he called our own Peter Ducey a stupid son of a bitch. Really? Take a look.
What do you think President Biden makes that? Do you think inflation is a political liability?
That's a great ass.
Obviously, inflation is a political liability. That's the reason why they're, moving to potentially fucking increase interest rates. Potentially 4 times over the course of this upcoming year. Okay? Depending on what happens. The reason why he said you're a stupid son of a bitch is because, yeah.
That's it. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Stupid son of a bitch. Mr. Unity strikes again. In all seriousness, Joe Biden really shouldn't be casting stones from an extremely fragile glass house. Here with reaction, Fox News White House correspondent Peter Ducey, who has an update on the story. First, what was your reaction? Words don't matter to me. I remember during the Trump years, everybody would feign the vapors. Oh, the president said this. I think I know you pretty well. You're a pretty tough guy. What was your reaction initially when you heard what happened?
My reaction, Sean, was delayed because, as you can see in that clip, the Biden staff were ushering us out. They were telling us, okay, thank you, time to go. And you can see right there, people are just starting to move towards the door, myself included. It wasn't until we went to the basement and then outside and then back to the press room that somebody said, hey, did you hear what the president said about you? I said, no, what did he say? So he called you a stupid SOB. And I was thinking, I did not hear that. And I went downstairs and I opened up my phone and he did. And
isn't the Ukraine thing all about selling gas? The U.S. NATO are trying to push EU countries to implement and increase sanctions? No. Hassle. No, that's a separate fucking geopolitical struggle that Russia has, which is opening up new fucking pipelines to sell more gas to EU nations. They want it. Germany wants it. EU nations want it. Russia wants it. You know who doesn't want it? Chad, I'll give you one guess. Who is stopping additional fucking pipelines from being built? Uncle Sam, motherfucker. That's right. Exactly. It's like, what's it to you, dude? What do you mean? What do you fucking mean? Like, you're just like, no. Strategically speaking, it's not in our best interest to allow it's not in our best interest to allow this, okay? Unless, of course, they're on native land. Yeah, exactly. It's because they care about climate change? That's a good one. That's a good one, dude.
Bazinga pills, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because they care, dude. It's because they fucking care about climate change. They're like, not on my watch, Jack. It's the Mac attack.
Hassle, hassle, hassle.
And so my response was delayed. But Sean, and we have some news tonight. After years of clips of the president and I kind of mixing it up on the campaign trail and during the transition and here at the White House, within about an hour of that exchange, he called my cell phone and he said, "It's nothing personal, pal." And
that's actually kind of fucking, that's still kind of spicy. He said, pal? He hit him with the pal, dude? I mean, that's Nothing personal, kid. You know, put the sunglasses on.
Went back and forth, and we were talking about just kind of
thank you, Coffee Dave, for the 5 tier 1 gift.
And I made sure to tell him that I'm always going to try to ask something different than what everybody else is asking. And he said, "You've got to." And that's a quote from the president, so I'll keep doing it.
All right, I want to be your negotiator here. And I would like to negotiate a 20-minute sit down with you and Biden one-on-one. I think that would be, you know, I'm a Christian. I believe in forgiveness. Okay. Did he apologize?
He cleared the air, and I appreciated it. We had a nice call.
Dude, the funniest people are like, are you going to cover the Sky Does Minecraft drama? I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know who that is. Do you think it's appropriate for me to cover the Sky Does Minecraft drama? Like when News Andes literally want to fucking commit seppuku in the chat the moment that I shift away from news after like 4.5 hours of nonstop coverage? What do you think that will do to all the news frogs? They literally fucking lose their minds, okay? They want a Sudoku the moment I move away from the news.
New frogs?
If they don't get their fucking 4.5 hours, like, they will lose their shit.
That's not an answer. Did he apologize? That doesn't sound like an apology.
He said it's nothing personal, pal. And I told him that I appreciated him reaching out. Hey, John, the world is on the brink of like World War III right now
I get
with all this stuff going on. I appreciate that the president took a couple minutes out this evening while he was still at the desk to give me a call and clear the air.
At least he called you pal.
But you know what? I don't need anybody to apologize to me. He can call me whatever he wants as long as it gets him talking. And today, you know, you played some of the bit with Jen Psaki and I went in there with 2 pages of questions about crime. I actually still have them right here. They've been rolled up in my pocket. 2 pages of crime questions that I didn't get in at the press conference last week, that 2-hour press conference. And so I'm in there and I'm looking, okay, if he takes questions, what's it going to be? But he said, I'm not going to take questions about anything off topic. So I'm thinking, okay, well.
God, this sucks. Okay, I don't care, dude. You're such a bitch. Like, you're literally a fucking bitch. Pfizer has started Omicron-specific trials. Tucker's take on the situation is giga-based, low-key. The title of the vid is asked, though. China is the certain winner here. I mean, it is true. China is the certain winner in the fucking Russian-Ukrainian Western conflict. But I also don't want to fucking watch Tucker Carlson, like, be a fake fucking anti-imperialist here, okay? It's really annoying. Really, really, really annoying because...
Good evening and welcome to...
Oh, my God.
Good evening and Good evening and Good evening and Good evening. 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 Good evening.
That's all I'm gonna say. Soy voice. Oh, Megan lol. So.
At HasanAbi, all grab no scrape tile workers.
Let me guess. He's going to say the exact same shit that I said. And then he's going to turn around and be like, the real danger is China. We should just fucking, you know, turn all of our efforts towards China. Okay? That's what we're going to do, right? That's where we're going to get to. Yeah, I kind of don't want to listen to it. But instead, I'll show you this. Okay? Renowned international relations scholar John Mearsheimer explains how the U.S. is responsible for the current Ukraine crisis and how absurd it is for anyone in the media and political class to deny this obvious truism. He's going to say, I've already seen this. You know, call me pre-watch Andy, call me pre-watch Peter. But in the end, he's going to say a lot of things that I have said so far, including an example of China using Canada as a forward operating base.
What motivates this is that Russia is a great power, and it has absolutely no interest in allowing the United States and its allies to take a big piece of real estate of great strategic importance on its western border and incorporate it into the West. This should be hardly surprising to the United States of America. As all of you know, we have a Monroe Doctrine. The Monroe Doctrine basically says that the Western Hemisphere is our backyard, and nobody from a distant region is allowed to move military forces into the Western Hemisphere. I can tell from looking at the audience that most of you are old enough to remember the Cuban Missile Crisis like I am. You remember how we went stark raving crazy at the idea of the Soviets putting military forces in Cuba? This is unacceptable. Nobody puts military forces in the Western Hemisphere. That's what the Monroe Doctrine is all about. Can you imagine 20 years from now a powerful China forming a military alliance with Canada and Mexico and moving Chinese military forces onto Canadian and Mexican soil, and us just standing there and saying, this is no problem. We're all 21st century people, and worrying about Chinese forces there is what 19th century people like Vladimir Putin worry about. Of course that's not going to happen. We're going to maintain the Monroe Doctrine with regard to China just as we did with the Soviet Union during the Cold War. So nobody should be surprised that the Russians were apoplectic about the idea of us putting Ukraine on the western side of the ledger. And by the way, they told us.
Sir, you don't understand. What about sir? What about their interest? What about the Ukrainian independence? Like, they can't be independent without having fucking. They can't be independent without getting like tons of fucking lead from the United States of America and NATO.
I gave you the quotes in the wake of the Bucharest summit. I told you what happened in August 2008 with the Georgia war. The precedents were there. The rhetoric was there. They told us. But we did not stop our efforts to make Ukraine part of the West.
He is an offensive neo-realist. He wants war in the end. Yeah, no, totally. Totally. He wants war in the end, whereas you want war right now, right? Like, if war is inevitable, then why do you want it now rather than later, I guess, pushing it back? Can't believe all the fair use lawyers made you get rid of all your IPs from your background. Yeah, that's what happened. Here, people also then call him a pro-Putin.
There's sort of a deep-seated immoral dimension to my position because I'm blaming the West and not Putin, who certainly has authoritarian or thuggish tendencies. There's no question about that. But I actually think that what's going on here is that the West is leading Ukraine down the primrose path. And the end result is that Ukraine is going to get wrecked. And I believe that the policy that I'm advocating, which is neutralizing Ukraine and then building it up economically and getting it out of the competition between Russia on one side and NATO on the other side, is the best thing that could happen to the Ukrainians. What we're doing is encouraging the Ukrainians to play tough with the Russians. We're encouraging the Ukrainians to think that they will ultimately become part of the West because we will ultimately defeat Putin and we will ultimately get our way. Time is on our side. And of course, the Ukrainians are playing along with this. And the Ukrainians are almost completely unwilling.
Uh-oh. I think I just got botted or something. Like bot followed. Or maybe it was just catching up. I don't know. Island Boys are teaming up with the U.S. Army? What?
Bonuses, paid vacation, and army.
We deserve all the L's. The American military will stay taking L's, and we deserve all of it. What is happening? Wait, did I accidentally run a fucking 3-minute ad break? What the fuck just happened? What the fuck is going on, bro? What the fuck? Okay, this is very strange. I just heard, oh no, and got an ad. Okay, well, I'll wait. Okay, let's continue. I don't know how the fuck this happened. I don't know how Twitch now runs. What? I don't know what just happened. Twitch now runs its own ads if you don't make the top of the hour. No shot. No fucking shot. Also, it ran 3 minutes, dude. That's very weird, dude. I'm sorry to everybody that had to watch that. Okay.
Hassle.
Oh. That was real fucking strange shit. Can you cover the Sky Does Minecraft drama while you're waiting for the other chatters? No, I don't care. I don't know what that is. Take a day off. I don't know who that is. I don't know what that is. Is it like important? You're the only person who keeps asking me to cover this like random shit, dude. I don't care. What the fuck is this? What is Sky Does Minecraft? Now I'm just gonna fucking...
Stunning.
All right, let's just watch.
Giving out bonuses, paid vacations, and a free college, no money. Hey, invite me right now, Sergeant Thomas. I want to be in the army. Invite me right now, Thomas. Hey, changing lives, I'm telling you right now, man. Hey, you an island boy, you get with Sergeant Thomas right now. He's helping people right now. He's doing the good, positive things, man, I'm telling you. Because he's a real honorary island boy, and we love him, we support him all the way. Army recruiter, giving out bonuses, paid vacations, and a free college.
We live in such a pathetic universe, dude. This is precisely why the American military keeps taking L's, okay? They stay taking L's. That's why.